Hi everyone, glad to see you again. Today I have something informative lined up for you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe online, cyber network. Disclaimer. For educational purposes only, this article is investigative journalism, aiming to inform the public about the threats in the digital landscape, not to encourage or instruct illegal activity. Peeling back the layers. The dark web in 0 days. The dark web is a hidden part of the internet, accessible only with special software like Tor, which anonymizes users. While it offers protection for journalists and activists, it's also a haven for illegal commerce. Here, one of the most valuable commodities is the 0-day vulnerability, a flaw unknown to the software maker, in this case, Apple. 0 days are dangerous because there's no defense. Attackers can exploit them before Apple even knows they exist. For iPhones, a working 0-day is the holy grail, allowing attackers to access emails, calls, locations, and encrypted messages. The dark web's anonymity and the power of 0 days create a perfect storm, enabling a marketplace for these digital weapons. Sellers, ranging from rogue researchers to criminal groups, find buyers willing to pay enormous sums. Buyers include government agencies, corporations, and criminal organizations. Transactions are conducted using cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Monero to obscure identities. The dark web thus facilitates a thriving, secretive trade in iPhone 0 days. The stakes are high, and the consequences can be global. The anatomy of a 0-day, discovery and creation. 0 days are discovered through painstaking research, often involving reverse engineering and fuzzing to find hidden flaws in iOS. Once a bug is found, hackers must develop a proof-of-concept exploit, code that demonstrates how to take control of the device. For iPhones, this often means chaining multiple vulnerabilities together for a full remote takeover. Discoverers range from ethical hackers who report flaws to Apple for rewards, to black hats who sell them on the black market. There's also a gray area. Some researchers sell to brokers who resell to governments. The life of a 0-day is short. Once used, it risks detection. Apple's security teams and outside firms monitor for unusual activity, racing to patch vulnerabilities. Once patched, the 0-day is worthless, driving urgency in the underground market. This cycle fuels a constant race between attackers and defenders. The discovery process is secretive, competitive, and highly lucrative. Each new exploit can shift the balance of power in the digital world. The stakes are enormous, and the rewards can be life-changing. But the risks are just as high for everyone involved. The 0-day market is a high-stakes game of cat and mouse. The price of infiltration, valuing an iPhone exploit. The value of an iPhone 0-day depends on its power. A full 0-click remote exploit can fetch millions. 0-click means the victim doesn't need to do anything. The attack is silent and devastating. Exclusivity drives up the price. Selling to one buyer is worth more than selling to many. Exploits for the latest iOS versions are far more valuable than those for outdated software. Simpler, more reliable exploits command higher prices. Private platforms like Zerodium have offered up to $2.5 million for top-tier iPhone exploits. On the dark web, prices can be even higher depending on desperation and reputation. These figures show the immense strategic value of iPhone 0 days. Transactions are secretive, high-stakes negotiations. The market is driven by rarity, power, and risk. The marketplace, how iPhone 0 days are sold. iPhone 0-day sales happen in secret, on invitation-only dark web forums or encrypted chat platforms. Reputation is everything. Sellers must prove reliability, often by providing smaller exploits or being vouched for. Transactions are risky. Sellers must demonstrate the exploit works, sometimes via video or live demo, without revealing too much. Escrow services are used to prevent scams. Buyers deposit cryptocurrency, and funds are released only if the exploit works. This system offers some protection in a world rife with fraud. A real-world example, Pegasus spyware developed by NSO Group used 0 days to target journalists and dissidents. Pegasus could be delivered via 0-click iMessage attacks, giving attackers full control of iPhones. This case shows how 0 days move from the dark web to global espionage. The trade has real-world consequences, enabling surveillance and attacks on high-profile targets. The process is secretive, complex, and fraught with danger. Both buyers and sellers operate under constant threat of exposure or betrayal. The stakes are enormous, and the impact can be global. The dark web marketplace is a digital arms bazaar. Every transaction can change lives and history. The buyers of iPhone 0 days are a powerful, well-funded group with strategic goals. National governments and intelligence agencies are the top buyers, using 0 days for surveillance, counterterrorism, and espionage. Corporate buyers seek competitive advantage, using exploits for industrial espionage, though it's illegal and risky. Law enforcement agencies sometimes buy 0 days to access encrypted devices in criminal investigations, raising ethical dilemmas. Criminal organizations use 0 days for blackmail, theft, and spying on law enforcement or wealthy targets. The dark web allows these buyers to operate anonymously, often through intermediaries. The motives are diverse: national security, profit, or power, but all seek covert access to digital lives. The market's secrecy makes it hard to trace or stop these transactions. Each buyer's actions can have far-reaching consequences. The demand for 0 days keeps the underground market thriving. The stakes are high for everyone involved. Trading 0 days is a high-risk, high-reward game. Sellers risk arrest, long prison sentences, and exposure if they slip up on operational security. They also face scams, betrayal, and retaliation from rivals or buyers. Reputation is crucial. One mistake can end a seller's career or worse. Buyers risk being scammed, losing millions on fake or faulty exploits with no legal recourse. Exposure can be catastrophic. Governments caught using 0 days face scandals. Corporations risk lawsuits and brand damage. The exploit itself can become worthless if Apple patches it quickly. Both sides operate in constant fear of discovery or loss. The market is unregulated, dangerous, and unforgiving. Every transaction is a gamble with high stakes. The risks are as great as the rewards. The real victims of the 0 day trade are those whose devices are compromised. Journalists, activists, and ordinary citizens can have their privacy shattered and lives upended. 0 days used by governments can expose sources, stifle free speech, and threaten democracy. Criminals can use them for theft, blackmail, or identity fraud, leaving victims powerless. The existence of a secret 0 day market puts every iPhone user at risk until Apple patches the flaw. Leaked exploits can lead to global attacks, as seen with WannaCry. This creates a deep ethical conflict. Should governments hoard these tools for security or disclose them to protect the public? The debate pits targeted surveillance against collective cybersecurity. The consequences extend far beyond the initial targets. Everyone using modern technology is potentially at risk. The fight against 0 day trading is waged by law enforcement and tech companies. Agencies like the FBI and Europol infiltrate dark web markets, using undercover agents and technical expertise to disrupt operations. Apple and others harden their products, adding advanced security features with every iOS update. Bug bounty programs offer big rewards to researchers who report flaws, reducing the incentive to sell on the black market. These efforts help patch vulnerabilities before they're exploited. Despite progress, the dark web is resilient. New markets emerge as old ones fall. Attackers constantly evolve to bypass new defenses. Collaboration between law enforcement, tech firms, and ethical hackers is crucial. Sharing intelligence and promoting responsible disclosure are key strategies. The battle is ongoing, with high stakes for user safety. Protecting the public from digital weapons remains a top priority. Thanks for watching and learning with me. Drop a comment below if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. I value your feedback. Cyber Network.